We are live. Hi, everybody. I'm back after doing the world's quickest competition announcement on the Sip and Share page. I'm back and ready to have a drink, but a different sort of drink this evening. I'm having to be that extra little bit more patient than I normally would. But hello COVID, this is the week, and I'm not in my normal surroundings. I'm keeping the festive lights. I'm going with like a Christmas continual bright light sparkly theme, combined with homeschooling. You see the Great Fire of London behind me. So hi, if this is your first time joining us, where have you been? Where have you been for 6 months? What's going on? My name's Kate, and I am Sip and Share. I do a lot of both of those things. What are we drinking? How are we doing? Are we all broken from homeschooling? Or are we just about getting through? We are streaming. Hi, Tina. We are streaming tonight. I've got a dog behind me. There's like several variables. We're in a different location. I mean, I will put a picture of this scene. You can't see this scene on Instagram and maybe on Facebook in a little bit, because you are currently resting on a like an aerobics footstool, like a step up thing. This is the only use that 2020 and 2021 this footstool is going to get and is going to get. So multi-purpose. So yeah, there's a dog here. There's a dog here as well. I'm the gin whisperer. I'll take that. I'll pop that on a badge and my CV and LinkedIn. No problem. Thanks. I tend to shout more than whisper, but hey, let's go with that. So this evening, got some new friends. We've got some new friends. They're classy. They're like farming. They're like organic. They're like wholesome. They look, you know, they're like good branding. So let's be kind to them, because they're also letting this. I was going to call myself a tramp, which feels really derogatory and probably quite unnecessary. But they're letting us stream on the Penrhos Spirits page as well. So let's be kind. Right, let's see who we've got joining me this evening. After calling myself a tramp, I don't know if Charlie wants to talk to me. Hi, Charlie.
Good evening, Kate.
How are you, sir? How are you?
I'm all right. I'm good, thank you very much.
Good. So thank you for letting us let Sip and Share stream on your page, and everybody from Sip and Share meet Penrhos Spirits, one of the partners of Penrhos Spirits, one of the founders. Are you 50%? I mean, are you 70%, Charlie?
Well, Kate, we're obviously one half, my wife and I, and then there's Dickie and Sally, who are just up the road, who are the other half, and that's where the distillery is. So tonight I'm not in the distillery, but you know, maybe another time we can do a shot from inside the distillery. So I am 50% of Penrhos.
And if you had to choose brains or brawn, which one are you?
Struth.
I
We're talking about gin. I think I'm a bit of a mixture, really. We all have our sort of roles. We've got Sally, who keeps us all to account. We've got Dickie and I, who have lots of ideas, and we're probably sort of 2 or 3 steps ahead of everyone on our ideas, but they're not necessarily always right. And then we've also got Harriet and my wife Kate, who go out and do the selling. So I would say probably Dickie and I are probably a bit more brawn, and then the girls are probably more sensible than we are.
Yes. So tell us a bit about Penrhos. Tell us, where are you? Where are you? What do you do? You mentioned you're not at the distillery, someone else at the distillery. Where are you and what do you do? Who are you?
So our distillery is based in Herefordshire. It's right on the Welsh borders. It's a beautiful spot. It's a little town called Kington, which hasn't really got Tubular Bells, Mike Oldfield, Hargus Ridge. It looks at Hargus Ridge. So
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm just going to say this. I love how you were like describing it's got like Kingston, it's got a really cute name, and then you just went with Tubular Bells. And
yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's, you know, we're in a very peaceful part of Herefordshire. We're 1 million miles away from most people.
Nice.
And yeah, it's just a really beautiful site. We're obviously, our day jobs is farming. I'm being brave here. I think doing non-alcoholic. Your first non-alcoholic on a Friday. I think we're being brave here.
We're representing the dry January. That's what tonight is. Well,
yeah.
The next 20 minutes.
So we obviously we've got we grow fruit. That's basically our number one operation. We do cherries and blueberries and strawberries and raspberries and some apples. And we just wanted to do something a bit different on the farm. So we're always faced with the problem of wibbly wobbly fruit, which won't end up on a supermarket shelf. So what are we going to do with that? So what we're doing tonight, you're going to be tasting some raspberry zero alcoholic spirit. We can't call it gin because gin has to be made from vodka, but it's full of all the wibbly wobbly raspberries that would otherwise be struggling to find a home for. But we started off a couple of years ago. Obviously, we are a proper distillery. We have got gins. There's, we've got a range of fruit flavored gins and a London Dry, all using our own fruit. But we're getting to a time where in the last year, health is a really big thing for particularly the sort of the younger drinking age group. Health is a really big thing, and so we're putting this out as another option for someone to drink. It's something that you could have if you were going to a party, say, and you want to feel like you're having a proper drink, as opposed to having a Diet Coke or something that's full of sugar. Because this, people say, oh, it's just another soft drink. It's not another soft drink because it's not full of sugars. Am I allowed to pour one?
Yeah. I don't wait for anyone. You've got to do this.
All right, okay. I've obviously got a bottle here as well.
I love, Charlie, is that raspberries everywhere. The context of you just went with a party and you don't want to have a Diet Coke. I don't know if you know, but there's a thing called coronavirus kicking around at the moment. So my scenario that I apply to this is when you are sitting at a table, this table here with your children, writing a story about a fantasy dragon covered in Sharpies, and you can't morally have a drink at 12:30 at lunchtime on a Tuesday, but you really, really want one. That's the scenario that the Sip and Share audience will be related.
Well, that's another good time to have one, because I do know we're obviously homeschooling one, and it's he's not too bad, but it's enough to drive you mad.
Yes. So what I love about this is I feel like I'm drinking a little cheeky gin and tonic without the guilt, both the parental guilt for looking after the children and our life here, and the alcohol intake guilt. So it's like guilt-free gin feeling in lockdown. I think that's the analogy I'm going with. I wish it was a party, but it's a party in my head.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the actual drink itself is, it's not people. I've read on some of the drink the Facebook discussion sites. How do you make non-alcoholic gin or non-alcoholic spirit? And we do it in the same process that we make our other gins. Only we have to use a lot of botanicals to get any flavor, and obviously we don't use alcohol, so we're using water, and we heat our whole still up to as hot as it will go, just to get a small amount of distillate to come through the other side, and that's what gives it the sort of botanically flavor. So it's not overwhelmed with raspberries. We don't want it to be just like a raspberry drink. It's got to be a combination of raspberry and botanical. So to give you a bit of an idea, there's about 10 times as much juniper going into the still to create a bottle of non-alcoholic spirit as there is when it's alcohol in the still.
So that
it's all top secret. I can't tell too much. I can't say too much.
Don't give too much away. So we've got.
It gives a lovely pink color, which is that's part of making it look an attractive drink as well.
And again, back to the 12:30 surrounded by Sharpies drawing a dragon. You want to pour it into a glass because the psychology of a nice big glass with ice in, and we can just look at it, smell a little raspberry gin, yeah, and then and people can throw judgmental comments, can't they? But you can go, no, in your face. Look, you see what my logic is. Anyway, very successful and on offer for Sip and Share members this month. And I know someone's bought one already because I know she is doing dry January. So
it's quite a polarizing thing, this dry January. I've come to discover, especially in the gin clubs, because the gin clubs are those are hardcore gin drinkers, and and suddenly to come up with a non-alcoholic version, there'll be a lot of people. That's rubbish, But I will drink this during the week because I want to wake up in the morning and I don't particularly want to feel slightly woolly-headed, the next morning. But I do enjoy a drink on a Friday. Don't get me wrong, and I'll probably have a gin as well tonight or something else. I don't know. We'll see. But
you sound like, trust me, the lot that are watching this. I love how you held yourself back for a Friday when we're in lockdown and homeschooling. Tina says, please describe the taste compared to a gin. How would you describe the taste of this compared to a gin? So I describe this as it's a bit like there was once a gin and tonic in a glass, and then the gin's been poured out, and so there's no gin in there, but you've just got that aroma, and I think that's the botanical thing. You've just got that aroma.
The thing, what no non-alcoholic drink will ever do is to give you the alcoholic burn that you get on the tongue when you drink a gin and tonic. There's a bit of a burn there, isn't it? And there's no way in this world that any non-alcoholic drink is ever going to replace that. But it shouldn't be a sugary sweet drink like a sweet, tango or whatever it is. It's going to be more tonic. There is going to be. I hope you can taste some botanicals in there. You should be able to taste junipers because there's a lot of juniper in there. There's coriander in there, and one or two other things. And then there's also the raspberry juice. So it's like a combination of raspberry and botanicals. But we try to substitute the burn with you can add a bit of chili or something like that to give you a bit of burn, but you're never going to get the alcoholic burn that you get with a proper gin. But you should feel it does, I hope, tastes a bit more of a grown-up drink than what my son's drinking right now. Yeah.
And the girls, my kids who are 6 and 8, have clocked onto the fact that this is non-alcoholic, and when they love rearranging my gin shelf or spirit shelf actually, and then have said, we're allowed to drink that one, aren't we? Of which I've had to kind of find a reason that's not just mummy says no. So I'm like, oh no, it's made in the same pot as the gin one, so it's got bits of gin in it. So I just had to think of something, which so far has worked out well for me.
So, I must say, my youngest has not got stuck into it, so I'm all right on that one.
So
I'm going to clip him one in a minute.
Someone has asked.
Oh, is it the comments he's making in the background?
Someone has asked, what are the products over your shoulder on the shelf? So we know we've got a non-alcoholic one. We know that this is on offer for members. And I said, we had this conversation. And I was like, the beauty of this and the beauty of Sip and Share is about choice. And as the membership grows, we want to give choice. It's not my job to do what everyone.
That's product placement. I've learned that. That's called product placement. Shall I get a bottle?
Get it. Bring them over. Bring the family in.
Right. Okay. So this is the gin that we started with. Okay. So the story behind this gin is that what we're trying to do is from the start, the strength of our story, and to give us sort of provenance is the provenance of what we're putting in the bottle.
Okay.
So we looked at gins all over the place, you know, and we couldn't find a blueberry gin. And so we thought, crikey, you know, we've got acres of blueberries here. Let's make a blueberry gin. But, you know, when you go to the supermarket and you buy a punnet of strawberries, mm-hmm. and you get home and you take the lid off them, or a punnet of raspberries, even you take the lid off, you can smell them. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes your fridge will even smell of strawberries because the strawberries are in there. If you have a punnet of blueberries, you don't get that, do you?
No, good point. No, you don't.
You don't. But it's those smells that go through the still, you see, to give your bottle a taste, a flavour. So we were trying to make blueberry gin, and it didn't work. And we went to see this master distiller to see if he could crack it for us. And we had a really boozy, I think by about 11 o'clock in the morning, I'd had enough. But what we did discover was that the blueberries made the gin really, really smooth. It really took the edge off the sort of the burn. But listening to you on Facebook last time, we've also got chamomile in here. Maybe it's the chamomile that does it, but I don't think it does. I think it's the blueberries in this case. So we kept the blueberries in here. So this is full of blueberries, but we don't call it a blueberry gin because you can't taste the blueberries. It is just a London dry. So as soon as we made this bottle, I secretly sent this bottle off to. I didn't tell Dickie and Sal, so I sent this bottle off to California, to the SIP Awards in California, and we came back with a gold medal, and we barely even sold a bottle. We just and because there's a distillery very near us that's related to the Tyrrell's Crisp factory, and he launched his vodka by sending his vodka to California. So I think he went to the San Francisco Spirits Awards, and he won top prize there with his thing. And from there, everyone knows Mr. Chase now. So you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But so we did that, and what we're trying to do is we tried to create. We spent a bit of money on creating a bottle. You know, we have gone for a screen printed bottle,
right?
With gold on it and whatnot. Cost a small fortune to have it made to start off with in Birmingham, and it was a bit like with the factory we went to get this made in. To start off with, it was a bit like Peaky Blinders. It was not dreadful. It was it was an eye-opening experience. But since then, we've had this more professionally made. And you know, because people buy with their eyes, don't they? And you've got to stand out on a shelf. So that's our first gin. It's full of blueberries, but it's full of other things. It's quite florally and crisp, but it is very smooth. And generally speaking, the smoother your drink, the more people like it to the west of us going to America. The hotter the more burn you get, you're looking at more like Eastern Europe. So I think that's why I sent that one to America, because I thought it's nice and smooth. I think we'll do all right there. So I sent that one to America to get to win an award with that. Next one.
Oh, so Charlie, can we have that? Can we have that London Dry? Can we start there after we've gone from raspberry? Can we go there next for the members? We've got a member asking.
Yeah, I should think so. I never say no.
No. So I asked you. I knew it.
It's yeah. I mean, to start with, you see, your members will probably know gin's got to be made from vodka, and so to start off with, I had this idea that I wanted to make some gin. About I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, and one or two things happened, and we couldn't get started as quickly as we wanted to. But what I was doing is I went and bought a little still off a major online retailer, a 3-litre still.
Okay, yeah.
And then I would go to the local Aldi, and I would buy a trolley load of the cheapest vodka I could find. And then, do you know, if you go to Aldi and you buy more than 10 bottles of vodka, the alarm will go off whether you've paid for it or not. So every time I'd walk out the shop, they think I'd shoplifted a trolley load of vodka. But I get home, and then I just start mixing and creating and seeing what I could come up with. And it's easy to make gin. It's not so easy to make a good gin.
Yes.
And so you can quickly make a gin, and every weekend we'd have another flavour of gin. I fancy something a bit like up here, so let's put plenty of pepper and spices in it. Oh, that doesn't taste so good. We won't make that one again. And you just go around with trial and error. But the difficulty is there are some ingredients that an amateur distiller will not know about, and you need them in there to keep your flavour in the gin. And there's the final 20% of getting you across the finishing line is the hardest 20% to do. So that's I went from Amazon distilling to eventually getting a decent sized still and making our blueberry gin based on ingredients that we can grow on the farm. Gosh, I'm going great guns now. And then our next one that we did was a rhubarb, but that we did the rhubarb the same. The rhubarb is the same ingredients as the London Dry. Only when this comes off our still, when you make gin, again, I'm probably telling something they already know. The gin comes off our still at about 82%, and obviously you've got to cut that back to get it to 40. And obviously with the blue one, we cut it back with distilled water. With this one, we cut it back with pure rhubarb juice. We grow rhubarb behind the distillery, so we're using natural ingredients on there. But the natural ingredients, there's issues with using natural ingredients. It's not easy, and it's the people. I mean, I can spot unnatural ingredients in a gin now because I can just tell. But you cannot put any more. There's 250 ml of rhubarb juice in that bottle. You cannot put any more rhubarb juice in a bottle of rhubarb gin than there's in that without faking it.
So with that bottle, just hold it up for us, Charlie, so we can see it. Is it cloudy, or is the bottle coloured, or is
it doesn't really do it? Oh, it's back there. It doesn't really do it justice on the lighting I've got here. It's a reddish bottle, but
okay.
But yeah, it's a red bottle. Obviously the rhubarb juice is ever so slightly cloudy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one of the things we made a mistake with, and all distilleries will have the same things. Everyone makes mistakes as they sort of go on their little trip down the gin road. We should have called it cloudy rhubarb. It's like Cotswold Distillery and their cloudy gin.
Yeah.
We should have called it cloudy rhubarb, but we didn't. But it is ever so slightly cloudy. But you can drink that neat.
Yeah, yes, I can, and I will look forward to the day that I do that on here with you, drinking a neat rhubarb.
And then the last one is our apple and elderflower.
Ooh.
So with the apple and elderflower, unlike the rhubarb, what we're doing is we grow dessert apples, and obviously we end up with, I don't know, 10 or 15% leftovers. So we squash the apples, turn it into juice, and then chuck it all in the still with the. So when you load your still up with spirit, it's at 96%. But obviously you can't run the still at 96%. Excuse me, I'm gonna cough. Sorry, excuse me. So we have to, you water it down, but we sort of water the still down with apple juice when we're making that one. And obviously we've been ferreting around the hedgerows to collect elderflower as well. So this is a this outsells the rhubarb, but this is a unique flavour, whereas the rhubarb is obviously up against lots of competition because lots of people make rhubarb gin. Cheers.
Cheers. That was so interesting and well explained. Well done introducing us to your gin family. So out of the three, if we leave our raspberry friend here out of this question, out of the three, which one is the most popular? Which one did you do first? Was it the London Dry you did first, and which one sold the most?
Do you know the thing about which goes the best is sounds like someone. Shut up, Rolo. So it depends on the demographic of who you're trying to sell to. Mm-hmm. If you go to a Christmas fair, say, and the age group is slightly higher, we'll sell bucket loads of that. If your demographic is younger, then that one will sell.
Okay.
That one, that is the one that will move. If you're obviously we're near to Wales, the Welsh like the rhubarb. They like the rhubarb with ginger. They'll serve the rhubarb with ginger ale.
Oh, nice.
Whereas if you go to the other side of the Severn, if you go to Bristol, so you just cross the Severn and go to Bristol, they'll drink that with tonic water. So it just depends.
I know of 110 people in a Facebook group who would drink all of it with either ginger ale, tonic water. Neat. all of those flavours will do the members very well, I think. So which is the one? Okay, here's the question. Final question. And I know it's like picking your favourite child, but we all have.
If I was on a desert island, which bottle would I have with me?
Well, I wasn't sending you to a desert island. I was more going to go with Friday night COVID lockdown. Which one are you opening first out of the three? Which is the one you had to choose one that's your? Yeah. I think you're going to pick London Dry. Yeah, I thought you would.
That one. I think we're very proud of the London Dry. It's obviously to get a gold medal in California that with sort of I think it was about 860 different brands there.
Wow.
That's about right. It was a huge competition, the SIP Awards, and to get a gold medal there was we knew we got something. Because the biggest concern you have is when you start is your product good enough? Because your bottle will sell the first one. We could this will if this is on a shelf in your local bottle shop, the bottle will help sell the first one. The second one is going to be whether or not they like the drink.
That's the conversation I have all the time. It's not we can sell the first bottle. It's how you sell the second bottle, or how you sell the rest of the range in there.
Yeah. But so we've got these. We've now got a non-alcoholic drink. So we feel like we're ticking a few more boxes. We've got a couple more things, a couple more ideas that we're sort of juggling with for next year. Maybe not gin, maybe something else, but we've got to keep evolving. That's the thing. We got to keep evolving. We've got a beautiful still. We got a beautiful setup, and we can certainly make lots of gin. We just got to have a good enough product so that people buy their second bottle.
And I am happy, along with a lot of other people, to be testers, you know, like a virtual Facebook group. We basically do one every Friday night. These members, the distillers come in on like, what have you let yourself in for? Virtual focus group. So it sounds like you've got some exciting little potential things on the horizon. Good luck with the rest of the Raspberry Zero. Very good substitute. Well, it's not trying to be a substitute for gin. It's just it's like a nod towards it. When you feel like you're making a posh drink, that's my thing. I want to feel like I'm spending a bit of time making a drink, because that's part of the psychology of having a gin and tonic, the making of it. And it certainly ticks that box, as well as it tastes bloody nice as well. So that's kind of thing.
I must admit, we've had liter sample bottles, you know, not in the finished bottle, but we've had lots of sample bottles, and they've been, once I started drinking it, during the week I couldn't stop. I couldn't, you know, every night I was having a pint of non-alcoholic and tonic water, you know, 2 cans of tonic water and some non-alcoholic, and it was quite easy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. I've made a good dint in it already. Right. Oh, I'm getting some lovely comments. What else? Oh, Tina's just asked a quick question. What else? Tina's written, what else you grow? But I think she's doing, what else might you grow? She might be drinking some kind of.
What else do we grow? We grow, so it's strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, apples.
I love how you're like, what is on our farm? What other? Tell me, hit me with products things we grow.
Well, we get strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, cherries, apples, and eating apples and cider apples.
Oh.
And we've also got some cereals. So there's some wheat and barley and rape.
You've got a good mix.
It's a mixture, you know. But there's 2 farms. There's my farm that I live on, and then there's Dickie's farm as well. Dickie's farm obviously is up nearer the Welsh hills. So we've got our cherries up with Dickie, and then we've got our raspberries and strawberries down here, and blueberries.
It's not a competition, Charlie, but between you and Dickie, who's got the bigger farm?
Between me and Dickie, what?
Who's got the bigger farm?
Well, Dickie's just a smaller person. Who's got the? You shouldn't look at it like that. I mean, we could go into, but Dickie's got more acres than I have.
Right.
Dickie's got more acres, but then a field of strawberries is worth more than a field of barley. So it's all proportional.
Very, very diplomatic. Very well. If I ever get to speak to him, I'll look forward to him saying, "I've got more acres than you." I'm not trying to.
Dickie's. But Dickie is. At this time of year, he's quite dangerous because he gets so many. He's quite quiet on the farm at the moment. He gets so many ideas flying through his head. You think, oh my gosh, what's around the corner next?
Well, that's exciting though. That's the sort of person you want to be in business with. That's the sort of, you know, that sort of energy and what could happen. I like that. Together, we're Dickie and I come up with lots of ideas, and then Sally and Kate go, calm down. Well, we will look forward to treating the members to this raspberry, and then I reckon I'll be tapping you up, emailing you for that London Dry, because I can already see comments of people. I know that as the membership group grows, they're going to be snapping your hand off for that, I think. So.
Okay.
Right, I will leave you to it is Friday, I don't know what day it is, lockdown, Friday evening. And thanks so much for that, Charlie, and I will speak to you very soon. Thanks everyone for joining us.
No problem. See you later.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Well done.